Group A, the Netherlands won, Ecuador won. So where to start? Let's start with the Netherlands. Another really rusted performance, I think. A little bit lucky this year being in a group, in Qatar's group. You'd have to think that if they were in a group of death type of section this year, they would be at a considerable risk to not come out. Uh, this is a team that has not really yet found its footing in this tournament. And they're lucky to come away with a single point from this match because Ecuador turned up the heat after going down. And you look at the stats, they dominated the Netherlands in this game. So, some criticisms that I want to give to the Netherlands. I don't think you can start three at the back, no sweeper keeper, sorry, no Pert, and then have De Jong drop deep and in between the center backs when Blind is being a lame duck on the left. I don't think that's a sustainable setup for the Dutch. Ecuador knew what to do, and they filled the zone and in front of the Dutch defense. And I think that killed Van Gaal's usual game. The Netherlands wants to push up the field while circulating the ball and have the defense sit over the halfway line in order to enable the siege. But Ecuador killed that. They snuffed that out pretty quickly, and Van Gaal never tried to fix it. It was only really in the last 20 minutes that Ake started surging forward. Like he was trying to, circumvent the Ecuadorian trap, but it was too little too late by then, I thought. It also doesn't help that Memphis is nowhere near fit, and he got thrown in like that. I mean, sure, he needs to play so he can play more later, but it didn't help the Netherlands' game today. I think if you're Dutch, you have to say congratulations to Ecuador because Alfaro, their coach Gustavo Alfaro, he had a solid plan. They kept at it, and really by limiting the Netherlands to only getting 2 shots on goal in 90 minutes, it's not proof of lacking mentality or skill. But it's a fundamental flaw with the system with which the Netherlands operates in. What the Netherlands should be really asking themselves is whether Van Gaal is capable of adapting the system to deal with it, both on the pitch and off of it. Is switching to a 4-3-3 mid-game really an option for the Oranje? I don't really think so. Is Van Gaal willing to sub off what he sees as a system players if doing that means abandoning routine in favor of creativity? I don't know the answer yet, but I fear the worst for the Dutch, and I lean towards that answer ultimately being no, especially for a team that wants to go on to lift the trophy for the first time in their history. I have to give credit. I have to give credit to Cody Gakpo. He is by far the best player today. He got that early goal. Ecuador responded quite emphatically, and they went on to dominate the Netherlands. They outpaced them. They dominated in terms of physicality, and this is the ruggedness and the grit of a side that Ecuador provides. And their response to going down, I thought, was very composed. We know that, again, I'll reference the stat sheet. 15 shots to the Netherlands is 2. 4 on target to Netherlands is 1. Basically even possession, basically even pass accuracy. The Netherlands slightly had a higher number of passes in this match, 506 to Ecuador's 413. But I thought that Ecuador is a really refreshing side to watch. After previous World Cups when all they did was really hack and sack and shithouse for most of their game. This is a team that is full of youngsters. I think they actually have a younger squad than the U.S. And they've really blended in with the veterans here quite nicely. So let's talk about the goals just very quickly for Ecuador. First one, it was ruled off because the referee had determined that No Parrot's vision was impaired. Therefore, that's against the rules. You have the correct decision. There was a lot of debate over that, whether or not he knew where the ball was going. I I think he did not, and there was a interference there, so it was the correct decision, even though it sucked for Ecuador. And when they switched to three at the back, you had a feeling that Ecuador was going to be going for the kill. Not just when they equalized, when Valencia scored that tap in off the rebound to get his third goal this tournament. You knew Ecuador was going to win this match, to put the Netherlands away. And I never expected them to dominate the Dutch in almost nearly every aspect. I have to give a lot of credit to Preciado and Estupinian for great performances out wide. Caicedo for keeping the tempo of the game in control, and obviously Enner up front. Caicedo's a little bit lucky. He arguably should have picked up a second yellow card to miss the next game, but he's going to be there. Alfaro set up the match to make he set up to match the Dutch system man to man, and it worked perfectly. And Van Gaal did not have a plan B for the flexibility that Ecuador had on the pitch today, and he did not anticipate that Ecuador would outgun them over the full match. I don't think the Netherlands were horrible, but they were beaten tactically. You have to say. What I would say here is I would like to see Sarmiento start as a forward for Ecuador. I don't think Mikel Estrada he's been really particularly strong for them. Ecuador is eventually going to have to seek more goal scoring options than just Enner Valencia. I know they had an opportunity off the post, but Sarmiento, when he came on as a sub, he was all over the place and energized. Maybe he'll make it to the starting lineup for the Senegal game. Ecuador only need a draw to advance, and they have an outside shot of topping the group if they win and better the Netherlands' goal difference.